Poverty is one of the major macroeconomic indicators for Indian economy. When we say that most of the people are poor, but poverty rates are reducing, what do we mean? And what exactly is happening? We'll read through an article in the newspaper, which is actually a view of the author, but I found it very beautiful. So I thought, why not share it with you guys and discuss it with you all. So, hi everyone, welcome back to Equipoiseclasses. Classes. I am Surbhi Gupta, and you can call me your mentor, your friend, and educationalist, or whatever you feel like. And that's completely all right. But I quickly share the article, and let's keep discussing that while talking. And rest, we can do the personal talks and chit chat towards the end of the video. But let's begin with the article. And the article says three types of poverty and a trap that is hard to escape. So, what are the three types of poverty that this article is speaking about? We'll discuss that, and let's start reading this article. In this article, I'm highlighted, but this article is actually very sweet. So see, we are. This is CEO of Azim Premji Foundation. He's written this article, and it's his viewpoint, and his name is here, Anurag Behar. So. What this article starts with is a story, a very great story, and he just experiences something when he goes to travel, and then he connects it with the situation of villages and what is how the poverty looks like in real, and what are the real types of poverty, not the bookish or theoretical things, but actually in practical life what is happening. Okay, let's start reading. Okay, we drove 3 hours from the airport on a 4-lane highway covering 220 kilometer. That is how good the road was. Okay, so they covered and the road was very good. That's what they're saying in the first line. Off the highway on a 2-lane road. Now they've come to 2-lane road. They're off the highway. From that point, we drove another 3 hours to cover 80 kilometers. So first, it took them 3 hours to cover 220 kilometers because they were on highway and the highway was 4-laned. Then once they were off the highway, the road was 2-lane road, and it took them again 3 hours, but only to cover 80 kilometers. That is how bad the road was, right? Then we had to change vehicles. The next 10 kilometer could be braved only by a rugged, low cost off-roader with uh, high chassis with little that could be damaged by narrow rocky path. Okay, what this means is, in a typical language, Dilli wala language, it is known as fatfati, or the auto, but a big auto, जिसमें शेयरिंग में लोग जाते हैं, ऐसे ऑटो टाइप ही दिखता है वो, बट थोड़ा बड़ा होता है ऑटो से. ठीक है, सो दैट इज व्हाट दे आर ट्राइंग टू डिस्क्राइब. एंड जस्ट इमेजिन, देखा होगा कभी ना कभी रोड पे चलते हुए, देखा होगा ऑफ रोडर. ठीक है, सो इवन दीज tough four-wheelers couldn't get beyond the point. So they were in the car. What is he saying? They were in the car, right? Airport से आए, कार ली, कार से पहले हाईवे पे गए, 4-लेन हाईवे था, 220 किलोमीटर कवर करा 3 आवर्स में. फिर हाईवे से उतर गए, अब ये कवर हो गया. अब नेक्स्ट इन्होंने रोड ले ली, 2-लेन रोड थी, 80 किलोमीटर ही कवर करे, उसमें भी 3 आवर लग गए, इक्वली लग गए. 3 आवर में पहले 220 किलोमीटर कवर करके आए, अब 3 आवर में सिर्फ 80 किलोमीटर कवर हुआ, राइट? उसके बाद रोड इतनी खराब थी आगे कि एक पॉइंट आया जहां जाना था, वहां के लिए दे कुड नॉट टेक कार. अब उन्हें कार से उतरना पड़ा. नेक्स्ट 10 किलोमीटर के लिए उन्हें ऑफ रोडर लेना पड़ा. पर रोड इतनी खराब थी कि वो 4-व्हीलर भी चल नहीं पाया एक पॉइंट के आगे. ठीक है, सो 3 बाइक्स टुक अस अनदर 2 किलोमीटर अहेड, एंड देन वी वॉक फॉर 15 किलोमीटर्स. नेक्स्ट बाइक टुक देम, बाइक लेके गई आगे और 2 किलोमीटर, और उसके आगे तो कुछ भी नहीं जा सकता था, सो दे हैड टू वॉक 15 मिनट्स. Okay, this is the scenario that he's picturing. This is what happened with him. We understood the background story? Okay. We spent the afternoon in the hamlet listening to its inhabitants describe what they were doing to increase yields of their small farms, manage water better in their hilly terrain, and plant mango orchids. So what were they doing? They talked to the inhabitants of the hamlet, and they were seeing that how they are working, how they are growing, how they are getting better yields, what they are planning, how they're organizing, and all that. The annual income of these families ranged from high of rupees 40,000 for a few to many with zero. Annual income of many was zero, and the maximum high could get for a very few. हम कहते हैं ना farmers, there are big farmers जो बहुत कम होते हैं और बाकी सारे होते हैं जो burden लेते हैं. वही चीज है कि बहुत सारे लोग की annual income zero and बहुत कम लोगों की high से high 40,000 annually we are talking of. Okay, there was no mobile connectivity. Again, there was no mobile connectivity in that hamlet. You had to climb a hill a couple of kilometers away to get faint signals. You had to climb the hill. Okay, सिग्नल चाहिए, चलो हिल क्लाइंब करके थोड़े अलग आगे किलोमीटर्स और जाओ. ठीक है, तो अब इसका मतलब क्या है? सो गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स and entitlements which required digital validation or transaction were either not available or hard to access. Schemes तो बन गई. मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ, नंबर ऑफ स्कीम्स कितनी है, हर रोज एक नई स्कीम निकाल देना डजंट मैटर. एक स्कीम भी होगी पर उसकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करेक्ट है, वो रिक्वायर्ड है हमारी इकोनॉमी में. इतनी पॉपुलेशन के लिए स्कीम पे रोज नई स्कीम निकाल रहे हो, यूपीएससी वाले बच्चे रोज स्कीम लर्न कर रहे हैं, गवर्नमेंट स्कीम की बुकलेट खरीद रहे हैं, याद नहीं होके दे रही कि क्या है, किसका गोल क्या है, किसका गोल क्या है. फिर 5-6 स्कीम एक साथ नोट्स बनाते हैं सेक्टर में कि अच्छा वाटर के लिए स्कीम है, लगता है सारी तो सेम ही बात कर रही है, तो इतनी सारी क्यों बनाई, एक ही बना देते. राइट, यू विल कनेक्ट विद मी. If you are a UPSC aspirant, you will any day connect with me, because government schemes is something when I was preparing, even I used to hate कि इतनी बना रखी है, इतनी क्या काम आती है, काम तो कुछ आ नहीं रही. पॉपुलेशन उतनी पॉवर्टी में, उतनी अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट है, जॉबलेस ग्रोथ हो रही है इकोनॉमी में. ठीक है, 5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी होगी, 5th लार्जेस्ट होगी, बट अंदर से देखो वही है. बाहर से तो दिख रहा है बहुत अच्छा अच्छा सब कुछ, क्योंकि घर के बाहर तो अच्छा अच्छा पेंट कर दिया, बट जब कोई घर के अंदर आता है तब पता चलता है कि कितने बेहाल है घर में. मतलब कितना, मतलब कुछ भी नहीं है, सब अंदर. This is like a very very good, aesthetically pleasing outside paint and wall and looking, oh my god, so beautiful house, but when you step inside you see everything is broken or not clean or anything. So that's what is happening with India, that on the face of it we are developing, but inside when we dig deep we are hollow. We have a lot many loopholes. That's what I would want to say. Right, the government okay, let's further read what the CEO wants to say. The government primary school in hamlet also served nearby habitations, an overall population of about 400. So that hamlet has overall and the nearby inhabitants, the overall population is 400 people. It had one teacher and 40 children. The school, primary school, had only 40 children and only one teacher. Only one teacher in a primary school. And primary school is a school that develops and sets the base and the tune for a child's future. Right? This teacher had taken a room on rent in a hut at rupees 300 per month and was living there. No one could remember the last time a teacher had worked in the school for more than a few months. Each one of them figured out a way to get transferred to another school somewhere else. This teacher had been around for 2 years, making no effort to move out. So this has been a कमाल का केस in that hamlet, that ये वाला टीचर एक टिक गया 2 साल, वरना कोई टीचर कुछ मन से ज्यादा टिका ही नहीं, एंड बहाना ढूंढ ही लेते हैं और ट्रांसफर लेने का, बाहर जाने का. ठीक है. The nearest private school was in small town. So the nearest private school, we were talking अभी तक government primary school का, right, which had only 40 children and one teacher. Private school nearest was 40 kilometers away from hamlet. Imagine कि ये सीईओ जो है, इनको 10-12 किलोमीटर कवर करने में इनको दादी नानी याद आ गई, तो लोग 40 किलोमीटर कैसे जाते होंगे. The closest private hospital was 60 kilometers. Private school 40 kilometers, private hospital 60 kilometers. Okay, in another small town, the government primary health care center, the country's most basic facility that one should have in their places, was about 25 kilometer. My god, 25 kilometer, which would take 3 to 4, only 25 kilometer, just to cover 25 kilometer it would take 3 to 4 hours. So forget about going to a private school 40 kilometers away, or forget about going to a private hospital which is 60 kilometers away. You're understanding what is the situation. His mind would have blown. Like, when I am reading this, my mind is blown. Like, this is the real situation of somewhere, guys. I mean, I am sitting in front of a camera and screen and reading this. But then when I'll switch it off, I'll be back into my normal life, touch wood, with all the facilities and everything. Okay. And you who's watching this video right now is getting impacted. But once you close this video, you will get back to your normal life. But what about these people? This article is actually real place. Okay. So yeah, let's continue reading. And it's actually highly impacting. And yeah, so don't get confused. When I get little stressed or nervous, I start smiling even more. That's what my yoga teacher teaches me, that, if it's paining, smile more. So yeah, that's you should also learn. I'll tag my yoga teacher in the description box, and his sister also, who's a Zumba teacher. They both brother sister are amazing. Okay, yeah. So the nearest outreach center of PHC with a nurse was about 6 kilometers. The nearest, just with a nurse. All of this through the very terrain that we had traversed to reach the hamlet. So, for example, if someone's leg, now he's thinking, like I'm also thinking, that if somebody has to go to the hospital, somebody has urgent emergency, it will take them 3 to 4 hours. What is the scenario? Okay, so let's just understand the example. If someone's leg was broken, they had to go 25 kilometers to reach PHC. Okay, leg is broken, have to go 25 kilometers away. First carried on foot, then on bike, then by some means, some rugged vehicle, if available. That is also condition. Rugged vehicle, that too, if available. Now, no guarantee if it's available. Okay. If an illness required checkups twice a week. So if by chance he manages to go there once, पहले ऑन फुट एंड लेग ब्रोकन है गाइस, लेग ब्रोकन और ऑन फुट चलना है. ब्रोकन लेग में चल के जा रहे हो, पहले चल के जा रहे हो, फिर कोई बाइक पे राइड दे देगा, और कार मिली तो ही बात है, तो पहुंच पाओगे, और वो भी 3-4 घंटे में. एक दिन चलो, एक बार मैनेज हो भी गया. अगर डॉक्टर बोलता है कि ट्वाइस अ वीक चेकअप कराना है, फॉरगेट इट, दैट कैन नेवर हैपन, राइट? इट वुड नेवर हैपन. बोथ द PHC and private hospital were staffed only up to 30-40% of the required level. The required level जो भी है, अगर 100 लोग रिक्वायर्ड है, सिर्फ 30 एम्प्लॉइज है वहां पे, है ही नहीं, लोग काम ही नहीं करना चाहते, क्या काम करें? ठीक है. Thousands of such habitations dot India, and a few 100 million people live in such places. That's the reality that I was saying. This is the same thing I was saying, that we are reading this article, but thousands of such habitants dot India, and a few 100 million people live in such places. Okay, they lead lives of remoteness from almost everything that we identify with our sweeping tide of progress. This is very sweeping tide of progress and development. That's what I mean when I say that houses are painted just to mask up their hollowness and loopholes. कि बाहर से बहुत सुंदर दिख रहा है, अंदर जाओगे तो पता चलेगा कि कितनी कमियां हैं. राइट, ऊपर ऊपर से लोगों को दिखा रहे हो हम डेवलप हो रहे हैं, हम एजुकेटेड है, हम ये हैं, हम वो हैं, अंदर से खोखले हो. अंदर से वही पुरानी सोच के वही 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 लोग हो जो ग्रो करना ही नहीं चाहते लाइफ में, जो अपने लाइफ में बस कंट्रोल चाहते हैं बिना सर पैर का करने. तो all this thing is like, it's a sweeping tide of progress and development. That's what I meant, right? Almost everyone is in poverty, no matter how it is measured, by income, consumption, or multidimensional. Almost every one of these habitants is in poverty. कैसे भी measure कर लो, ठीक है? But no measure can convey the feeling or experience of poverty. Much that is taken for granted in world today doesn't even exist in the consciousness of people in this remoteness, or our myth of distant lands brought by returning migrants' labor. Okay, so just being there requires relentless effort. Inhabitants reaching out and outsiders reaching in involves a struggle. As you see, no, he had to travel a lot. So these habitants who are living there, for them to reach out to us and for us to reach into them, both requires a lot of struggle, like the CEO did. defined and frozen by remoteness, is one of the three types of poverty that I encountered in past 2 weeks. Okay, what is the first kind of poverty that is talking about? Remoteness. Okay, remoteness. Then all types of poverty have some common features. The most obvious is our inability to create jobs. The, the very important. The most obvious is our inability to create jobs and livelihoods that are just and fair and secure. It's our inability. It's government's inability to do it, and which is why people are suffering. So one of all these three kind of poverties have these things common. Okay, but there are sharp differences too, which then determine both the experience of poverty and the challenges that confront effort to improve things. As in the impossibility of doing anything without first tackling remoteness is the first type of poverty. Tackling remoteness, okay, the impossibility that we cannot tackle this remoteness, that they cannot come up to us and we cannot go up to them. The second type of poverty is usually within an hour or two. Uh, okay, from some airport, if one uses that privilege measure of distance. Most of these places have high population density and little land and other natural resources per capita. Schools, hospital, court, markets of various sorts, government offices, and other basic institutions and services are not distant. Okay, many of these are within or near habitations, and almost all within a driving distance of an hour or two. Okay, so social mores and structures have vice like grip on everything here, and are the most stark feature of this poverty. So what is happening? Okay, social and public institutions are firmly in this web and are largely dysfunctional. All social and public infrastructure are largely dysfunctional. If you are a woman, markets will be inaccessible, the mobile phone too, and your food will be family leftovers even when you need most nutrition. That is the case, that is the reality. That's the reality. So yesterday in the employment article, we understood about how women are suffering even when they are educated and in the high paid regular paying jobs, or even when they are self employed, how the ratio of what women is getting paid to men getting paid is low, right? Yesterday we saw about the educated people, or in general women employment. Now we see in the poverty case that when women needs most nutrition, their meal is actually the leftovers by the family. No mobile phone, no market access. Okay, your caste will shape your child's experience in school, as well as your access to justice, places of worship, and treatment in hospital. Caste will define everything. How petty. So what if we never knew, uh you know if somebody is ill, somebody, if you're a doctor and somebody comes up to you and they say that, okay, I have broken my leg, please treat me. So how come, I just feel pity that how first you ask their caste and then decide the course of their treatment. I mean, even for a teacher, if somebody comes up to me, I will never ask for the caste, religion, or anything. For me, every student is the same, right? So this should happen with everybody, but how petty things are. Community antipathies are often vicious, carrying the weight of centuries of strife. And then there is a lot more. Such poverty is an indivisible web of mores, structures, and lack of economic resources. All of these must be confronted together to change. I did discuss this in detail, that how the social structure and this particular line has actually, that community antipathies are often vicious, carrying weight of centuries of strife. This is the problem. This is what we are facing in the with employment also, and this is in poverty also, when everything has to be confronted together, right? The third kind of poverty exists right next to you and me. So we have talked about two. Third is slum and shanties or blue taps, tap tents with their. So basically, think of it as slums, और ये जो सड़क के किनारे ऐसे लोग बस रह नहीं रहे होते एक शेल्टर लगा के, उसी की बात हो रही है. With their inhabitants cleaning or constructing buildings or working on road. For people in such poverty, everything, all of the progress and development is right there. Imagine they are constructing a building. For them, everything is right there. They're doing so. Okay. yet hopelessly far. Imagine a very poor person constructing Google का building. So growth and development वही हो रही है उनके लिए, लेकिन उनसे अभी भी बहुत दूर है. कर वही रहे हैं, वो उसमें हिस्सा है, बट उनके लिए नहीं है वो मे भी रात को भूखे पेट ही सो रहे हैं क्योंकि उनके पास कुछ खाने को नहीं है, राइट? अक्रॉस द डीपेस्ट पॉसिबल chasm that of apathy. So yeah, reading such articles ना, actually see this is why I read from newspaper, because अगर मैं नोट्स बना लूंगी ना इसके, तो तुम्हें वो टच नहीं समझ आएगा कि एक बंदे ने कितने दिल से लिखा है ये आर्टिकल, कि क्या अपनी फीलिंग लिखी है कि क्या हाल है. एंड जब आप वो पढ़ते हो ना, इट शेक्स यू, मतलब लगता है, इम्पैक्ट तो छोड़ता है. ठीक है, दैट इज व्हाई इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. Our actions and inaction, because in any answer writing also, na, if you're appearing for any entrance exam, and even if it's the answer, if the examiner can assess not only the data points or not only the structured answer, but if he can feel your answer, not only read your answer, but if an examiner can feel your answer, and if you put even that 0.1% of emotion into it, by far you win. Okay, so that's also the art of answer writing is very different. You may be more knowledgeable than me, but if I know the art of answer writing, so even with the less knowledge, I can put it across so beautifully that I may get more marks than you, because it's everything. So nobody will confront me, or if they ask a question, so they are asking a question. Why are they asking me to write? सामने होंगी तो आप ही जीतोगे, आपको ज्यादा पता है. पर पेपर पे तो सबका सेम ही है ना, अब जिसमें जितना आर्ट है वो देख लो, राइट? Which is why answer writing is very critical. Keep practicing, guys. Yeah, so that is the case. This is finally the thing, and these are the three kinds of poverty that we discussed with the case study. So this is, guys, a very good case study. अगर कोई long answer लिख रहे हो किसी भी एग्जाम में, so और poverty पर लिख रहे हो, तो ये case study पूरी लिख सकते हो. पहले स्टार्ट कर, या कोई ऐसे लिख रहे हो इन एनी एग्जाम में भी, इन यूपीएससी और समवेयर, if you're writing a case study, if you're writing an essay or anything, you can start with this case study, that how this happened, and you can put across this real case study. This is not hypothetic, this is real. So you can put it across, put this case study and then explain poverty. Very beautifully you'll get marks, trust me. Smoothly, मक्खन स्टाइल में मार्क्स मिलेंगे, क्योंकि एग्जामिनर को भी लगेगा इतनी आंसर कॉपीज देख के कि ये आया कुछ. इसीलिए हम ये पढ़ते हैं डायरेक्टली न्यूज़पेपर से. अंडरस्टूड? सो ये पढ़ लो. वी मस्ट रिजॉल्व ग्रिडलॉक्स दैट सस्टेन द deprivation of millions of an economy that's on the move. Right, with that we've come to an end of this article. Both yesterday's employment article, unemployment article, and today's poverty article have gone really long, but trust me, since these are the macroeconomic indicators and these are the critical issues for Indian economy, so it is important to discuss it in detail, and I will not waste any more of your time. So I'll just see you off. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Take care, keep smiling until my next video. And yeah, because I keep on uploading na video 11/4, so smile karte raho and stay healthy, guys, and keep practicing. I'll see you tomorrow with another one. Bye bye.